My family's lighthouse journey began some years back when Pastor Keion in the Lighthouse was holding church at the Summer Creek High School. And we used to go visit when he would have Family and Friends Day, and we would go to Bible study. What brought us full-time, so to speak, is Hurricane Harvey.
What Harvey did to us.
Rory and Denisa Samuels live in this flood-ravaged area that saw more than 5 feet of water destroy their home. They estimate damages between $30,000 and $40,000.
August of a couple of years ago, when Harvey first hit, our life would not be the same. In Zone X, no flood zone, and we were affected tremendously by Harvey, and we were displaced. We were displaced to State Bridge Hotel off the Beltway for actually 6 months. We were coming every Tuesday faithfully to Bible study. We would go from lines at Reliance Stadium to NRG to Bible study. I was dragging my daughter and my son everywhere. In the middle of the storm, he was so angry and I didn't know why. And I said, God, you got to help me through this. You got to help me to help my son. Even in the midst of losing everything, I just made a vow to God that I would not allow my faith to waver. Everything else can be taken, but I have to hold on to something, and I chose my faith. After a few Sundays, my kids actually said, you know, Mom, I think it's time we join the Lighthouse. And so I was like, well, guys, we got to pray on it and, you know, see and, you know, make sure that this direction, you know, God wants us to go through, and we're going through so much. And so finally my daughter, which is 13, said, Mom, enough is enough. We need to join. I said, okay, all right, very good. So that following Sunday, Pastor Keion did an altar call before service even began. And my son was sitting on the other side of the church, and I sit on my old faithful right side. And I went up, and I was just boo-hoo crying. And Pastor looked at me, and he said, I know you for real about it. You crying already, and I hadn't even started. And so it was just something that God, I really believe, was speaking to me. And so my son had came up too, and I didn't even know it until we had got in the back room, and he was there. Since then, my son has joined the young adult ministry. He will go from crawfish and kickball during the day to his prom in the evening. And so I'm telling you, he was so dedicated. He went to clean up the highway when Lighthouse adopted the highway. We went to the L3 conference, he and I. It's just he wanted to make sure we were busy with the Lighthouse. And so, Pastor Keion, if I tell you, you were so instrumental to him. And then my daughter joined the Mind Ministry. And to see as a parent your children so excited about being active, that has to spark something, and it did. Thanks to you, thanks to his prayers, thanks to our prayers, thanks to the support. My son is at North Fork, Virginia in the United States Navy. My son would put those headphones on and listen to your podcasts on your various different businesses. He didn't stop there. He watches Lighthouse sermons that you do. He watches them online down there, and I guess the podcast listening and going to sleep with it has paid off, because my son has started his own business. It's called Rise Equity. And it's a real estate investment company, and what he does is he buys contracts for real estate contracts, and he resells them for in escrow or something like that. You know, I'm just so glad and so proud of him. I said, okay, son, tell me about it. What's going on? So he sent me his LLC. And he's only 19, and God is using this boy. So I'm so proud of him. And Pastor, you spoke into his life whenever the seniors had a backstage meeting with you. And you spoke into his life then. And you just don't know the impact that you are having on these youth. So that's why this Dream Center, right on the money. You are right where God wants you to be. And the Samuels family want to be just a small little part of it. So we can do however we can. God can use whatever skill sets and whatever tools that we have so that we can help make a difference on a large sector, because you are definitely doing that.
What's going on, Big King Lighthouse? I'm live in Norfolk, Virginia. I just want to thank the church and you for welcoming us in with open arms. After the flood, y'all helped us out a lot. Y'all made us feel welcome, made us feel loved. Y'all changed me and my family life so much. Made us go to new levels we thought we would never go to. Made us do things we thought we would never do. I want to thank you personally from me. You know what I'm saying? You kind of made me get up and want to do something more than just be on my behind all day and get caught up in the loop. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everything the church and you have done for us, and I'm gonna keep being out there and being with y'all. All right, deuces.